Pro Wrestling Central Illinois. This week, we're carrying things over from the last edition of the program where we had the Hall of Fame induction ceremony for the Crusher, Tim Lyle. Fabulous Jason V came out to the ring to kind of interrupt the ceremony, or at the conclusion to, I guess, challenge Tim Lyle for the Powerhouse Wrestling Tag Team Championship. His partner is the Super Destroyer. As you saw last week, Jason V is teaming up with Xander Carmelo, who is usually the manager of the team. He was supposed to be teaming with Aaron Matthews of Wrestling Redefined. However, Aaron Matthews could not make it, and Jason V selected Xander Carmelo to be his tag team partner tonight, even though his experience as a wrestler is a little bit questionable. So we're going to see how things go, but joining me in the booth for tonight is the analyst, Rob Leach, who is one of the play-by-play commentators of Pinball Wrestling Association. How are you doing tonight?
Oh, well, I'm doing great. How about you?
Well, we're in the holiday season, and New Year's Day is this weekend, 2017. Gonna not look anything like 2016, and a couple of weeks we should have the Year in Review show, which we will run down what has changed during 2016 that's going to set up 2017.
Yeah, well, we've got Tim the Crusher Lyle here and the Super Destroyer versus that Carmelo guy and his partner.
You forgot who it is. Jason V. Fabulous Jason V.
Yeah.
Jason V. And Tim Lyle has a hold of both their noses. Tim Lyle has grabbed... Oh, wow. That's not going to feel good. That's almost as bad as being punched in the nose. And the heads get rammed together.
Now Lyle going to send him off into the corner.
And Jason V has to slip out to the outside of the ring, as he's not faring too well at this point in the matchup. Crusher Lyle pointing to his partner, and here comes the big man, Super Destroyer.
Oh, that's not good. I saw what happened last week, just a splash in the corner and then a body splash, and it was it.
Yeah, Xander's brother, Drew, did not fare too well against the Super Destroyer, but that's what happens when you are not paying attention and let yourself get caught by surprise.
We're gonna see how this plays through here.
Colonel Neville tie up, and Destroyer just hurls Jason V across the ring.
Look at the size of this man.
Jason V is a veteran of the Ring Wars. While he's calling for the referee, now he's asking for says the mat's slippery. What does he want to do? Somebody to come towel it off?
I don't think that's going to happen in a match with Super Destroyer. Oh, here we go, going for that test of strength on the second rope. They try to overpower him. Now, I see how this ends for most guys that do this up on the top and second ropes. Usually they just get dropped on their face. We're going to see what happens right here.
Super Destroyer, 6.5 foot tall at least, and Jason V goes down face first to the mat.
What I tell you, dropped him right down on his face.
The ropes are slippery too!
The ropes are slippery too, he says.
For those who are looking for any wrestling shows to happen during New Year's weekend, there's none happening in the state of Missouri or the downstate Illinois area. things will pick up again starting January the 2nd. Jason V, actually 7th, Jason V kicking away on Super Destroyer on the mat.
January 7th, that's my birthday right there.
January 7th, yes. It's also the first AAW show to take place in LaSalle, Peru, after the end of Dreamwave Wrestling. And Jason V, mimicking Ric Flair and Super Destroyer, whatever chops he made didn't have much of an effect as the Destroyer recovered quickly.
Yeah, he's caught in a chop across the chest. Now, is Carmelo going to tag himself in here? Oh, Jason.
Well, yes, he just been tagged in. He has just been tagged in. Carmelo, who is a manager, not a wrestler per se. I mean, he's got ring gear. He came out in the ring robe, and yeah, he pretty much remembers. He just saw what happened to Drew Carmelo, and doesn't want any part of Super Destroyer and huge chop to the chest.
Yep, chop right across that chest there. Man.
Sean Wright, your official. Kind of fill us in on what you do for PWA, since you never appeared on this show before.
Well, I've never appeared on the show before. I am a commentator for PWA. I do that full time. Every show at Lanphier, I'm there and I'm commentating. I've done a little bit of ring announcing. I've appeared on their YouTube show Turnbuckle TV.
So, where did you get your experience as a broadcaster? Where did you learn to be a broadcaster? Because you come from a family of famous radio broadcasters.
Well, I never really learned. It just kind of came to me. I emailed one of the owners at the time, Tim Gibbons, and said I'd like to do something for the company, and he had something for me. So I went there and he told me he'd be right back. That was about 4 o'clock. He said he'd be right back with his job for me. Well, from 6:25, I had not even seen him until then. He comes, sits next to me 5 minutes before the doors open and says, "Do you think you're good on a microphone?" I said, "Oh, well, sure, I guess." And he put me on commentary for the evening against Priest, and I've been doing this thing ever since.
All right, Jason V taking over on Super Destroyer.
He's actually down on the mat.
And there's a choke on the second rope.
Gotta watch out. Referee reaches a count of 5. It's going to be a disqualification here for Mr. V.
Well, Jason V. Ooh, knee to the back of the Super Destroyer. Rumors have been flying around that Super Destroyer is Frank Wyatt in disguise. I'm here to tell you that is not the case. It is someone else. It is not Frank Wyatt. Frank Wyatt, you know, you can't, I don't think he can hide his beard and hide his long beard in there under that mask. And he once had very long hair too, but he shaved that off. But yeah, it's not Frank Wyatt, folks.
Yeah, it's
I don't know I don't know who it is under the mask, but it's not Frank Wyatt. I can tell you that much.
Whoa.
Super Destroyer.
Kick to the knee, and again, multiple kicks to that leg, that right leg there. Nice work working on the legs of the big man. Take him down, he won't be able to support his own weight.
And a boot to the head. And what? Another boot to the head from Jason V.
Into the cover, too.
Kind of a nonchalant cover there as
a 2 count.
Left that right shoulder
you can't
uncovered.
You can't put too much pressure in there because, I mean, the big tree trunk legs of Super Destroyer, they're kind of hard to get your arms around.
Well, you can just bend your shoulder up and choke slam. Choke slam from Super Destroyer.
Will this thing be over right here?
And a nonchalant cover from Destroyer.
That was a mistake.
Xander Carmelo came to make the save, and it was a trap. As Carmelo gets choke slam, and here's the tag to Central Illinois Pro Wrestling Hall of Famer, the Crusher Tim Lyle. And there is the Iron Claw. Iron Claw made famous by the Von Erich family. Punch to the face. And the Hall of Famer latches on the Iron Claw again.
This thing could be over. Oh!
Grabs a hold of the referee and then kicks him in between the uprights.
Yeah, that's not where you'd ever want to be kicked. Looks like Xander Carmelo has been tagged in here.
Well, and Tim Lyle is down. I mean, Carmelo should just jump in the ring and go for the cover. Lyle is hurting, and because he's jaw-jacking with fabulous Jason V, now he just allowed Lyle to recover and latch on the Iron Claw and the Carmelo. And now he taps.
That thing's over. Ring the bell. Back to the showers it is for Xander Carmelo and Jason V.
Well, and Carmelo. Now, Jason V said if he lost his match, he was never coming back to Powerhouse Wrestling again. I guess he's not coming back, is he?
Oh, wait. Tim Lyle's not done.
Backbreaker on Xander Carmelo.
And Super Destroyer's not done, it looks like. Oh, no. Looks like Jason V's going to get away.
But retaining the Tag Team Championship, the Super Destroyer, and Central Illinois Pro Wrestling Hall of Famer, newest member, the Crusher, Tim Lyle.
Let's take a look at that thing. That is a team that cannot be stopped.
And Jason V just stunned. I mean, Carmelo, after that low blow from Jason V, Carmelo, all he had to do was just jump in the ring and cover Tim Lyle for the pin. Instead, he started getting all scared and stuff. Just a bad move. Huge tactic. Well, yes, Jason V is blaming Xander Carmelo. I mean, he set him up for him to get the pinfall there.
In a way, yes, this is Xander's fault for jaw-jacking with Jason V rather than going for the cover on Tim Lyle.
Well, we're not going to pause in the action here. We are going to go right to the next match. Right after we fade to black. You're watching PWCI This Week as Conservative Crime Fighter, along with sending in the analyst, Rob Leach.
Oh yeah, that's very much true. The analyst Robert Leach right here. We're taking a look right here, PWCI This Week with Powerhouse Wrestling.
Ada Streeter.
What is up next?
That guy's a daisy, that's all I can say. We planted him tonight.
Planned like a daisy. Wow. Well, up next, heavyweight title match. All right, match number 2, and kind of tight for time. And Jimmy Karryt taking on Harker Dirge and jumps him right at the bell. And what's with the hat?
Not quite sure what that even is.
He was calling himself the Peacemaker at one point, but that seems to be out the window. This is for the Powerhouse Wrestling Heavyweight Championship. Harker Dirge, the champion at the time. Yeah. Jimmy Karryt fetches a chair.
Now he was the Peacemaker or Peacekeeper or whatever. He was 24K.
He's still 24K.
He was, last I checked at PWA's Collision course on November 5th, he was called the Powder King.
Yeah, he's wearing a pirate outfit and all. And a P&A official is admonishing Jimmy Karryt for picking up a chair and throwing it in the ring. They did not want their chairs used in the matches at all. They absolutely forbade the talent to use chairs even in a hardcore match. So here they go.
Well, I'm sure they were just in a fantastic mood when Jimmy Karryt grabbed that chair then.
Harker Dirge, longtime veteran of the Ring Wars.
Harker Dirge defending against Jimmy Karryt.
Harker Dirge, soon to be, well, going to be a future Central Illinois Pro Wrestling Hall of Famer at some point in the future. Not a question of if, it's a matter of when, as he's been one of the most influential figures in Central Illinois wrestling. Jimmy Karryt locks up.
As far as we've seen so far, as we're seeing right now too, Harker Dirge is in control.
And Harker Dirge with a headlock takeover, scissors, and Harker Dirge maintains control of the headlock on the mat, and Jimmy Karryt can't quite slip out of it.
Jimmy Karryt now is stuck in that side headlock.
Powerhouse Wrestling has run its... this show took place back in about September. They have not run another event since that point. I hope they do come back in 2017. I hope that this is not the last radio. I hope they have more shows to come. And Harker Dirge, backslide on Jimmy Karryt, and only a 2.
An arm drag takedown. Take a look at this, that arm bar locked in now.
And it looks like Harker Dirge has that arm wide open for a knee drop.
Right there at the elbow.
I hope Powerhouse comes back in 2017. The wrestling landscape has undergone an earthquake here in the state of Illinois and Missouri, with Dreamwave going into retirement, AAW taking its place, also the National Wrestling League down in St. Louis and Kansas City, and locking up several wrestlers into contracts. A lot of changes for 2017. 2017 is not going to look anything like 2016 in the Central Illinois pro wrestling scene whatsoever, and I would consider it a good thing because it keeps things around here quite fresh.
Yep.
Instead of staying the same all the time year after year. Gotta have some variety here.
Fresh is good. Fresh is always good. A lot of things need to change. Even something that I feel is kind of dumb, because this is about national wrestling now. This is about WWE mainly. I believe it was in Kentucky. They don't allow any WWE events at all because of some sort of ban on combat sports or...
Well, that's no longer the case. The changes have been made in Kentucky fairly recently. Major changes, and I think we'll cover that during the 2016 Year in Review show. Even though it's kind of out of the coverage area, it does affect Southern Illinois wrestlers who would want to wrestle in the state of Kentucky, because Kentucky shares a border with the state of Illinois, mind you. As Harker Dirge gets a 2 count on Jimmy Karryt and just, boxes his ears.
A bell clap right around the head there, taking him down to the mat. Now Harker Dirge gonna Hit him with a nice headbutt.
I don't believe WWE had any problems running in the state of Kentucky. I don't think that was ever the case. It's the smaller independent promotions that have had bigger issues. Now, UFC probably would have had a problem running in the state of Kentucky. Oh my goodness! Harker Dirge digs his fingernails in the back at Jimmy Karryt. I mean, these two have been longtime rivals. They've had numerous matches against each other. Hardcore, last man standing, fight throughout the building type battles.
Look at this.
And this is just one of the latest.
Wheelbarrow up into the. Looks like he hit his head off the ring post.
That's exactly what happened. This is just the latest battle between these two. I mean, they fought each other in about every promotion in Central Illinois and a few other states, and only a 2 count from Harker Dirge.
These guys have had a very storied rivalry throughout their illustrious careers.
Well, and 2016 is the final year we see Harker Dirge as a wrestler. 2017, he is not wrestling, or at least he lost a loser leaves town match at 0-1 in October. And per stipulation, he's supposedly not to wrestle ever again, but you know how those stips go, how long they last.
Well, a loser leaves town. That just means he's not supposed to wrestle in that town.
Well, I call it loser leaves town because that's the most common name for the stip. I mean, it's just loser must retire kind of a thing. Or put the career on the line, whatever you want to call it. I call it loser leaves town because that's the most recognizable name for that stipulation. As Jimmy Karryt had a sleeper hold on Harker Dirge, but Karryt feeds him a knee and an enziguri to the back of the head.
He's finally getting himself in control here, but a 2 count.
Sean Rife with the call. And Karryt listening to trash talk in the audience here at the P&A Hall in Streeter as Jimmy Karryt chokes away on Harker Dirge on the middle rope.
And now he's just choking him again.
Now Karryt
on a 4.
Yeah. Jimmy Karryt discussing with the referee how many counts he has before he gets disqualified and how long he can hold a chokehold on Harker Dirge before he must let it go. And Harker Dirge has turned the tables. Harker Dirge has turned the tables and just slings him off the top rope. Head over heels.
That's what it was.
That cannot feel good. He just slung like you were in a slingshot. And there's a clothesline. And here's another one. Harker Dirge starting to rally here. Throws Karryt into the ropes. And a big spine buster.
And Harker Dirge with the cover. And only a 2 count.
How did Jimmy Karryt kick out of that maneuver?
Well, a spine buster is not the move that Harker Dirge usually defeats an opponent with. I mean, he could get lucky and knock the wind out of his opponent with the spine buster and get the 1, 2, 3. However, Jimmy Karryt has been in so many battles with Harker Dirge. I mean, he's been able to absorb as much punishment as Harker Dirge can dish out. And a knee to the gut.
Oh, shot sends him to the outside.
KO punch. Sends him outside the ring.
If Jimmy Karryt wins by countout, he still does not win the title.
Well, of course not. I mean, Karryt's not going to allow that to happen. He's going to go and he's going to get him back in that ring.
Going to force the referee to restart the count and chase after Harker Dirge.
And Karryt
sends him into the apron, and now, ooh, a shot right to the ribs.
Now this is one of those lower to the ground rings, or so-called low-rider rings, so you gotta basically hurl your opponent downward when you throw him into the ring apron.
Oh, huge shot.
Makes it easier for the wrestler to get back into the ring, but
sends Jimmy Karryt into the corner. Jimmy Karryt reverses the Irish whip and catches him with an atomic drop, and now Northern Light suplex into the cover to 2 count.
And Karryt thinks this match should have been over, but Harker Dirge did kick out pretty convincingly before the 3 count. Wasn't even close, really. Oh, drops a fist to the head. Harker Dirge is hurt. For all the latest schedule information or whatever news updates happen to come along during the New Year's holiday, visit the St. Louis Wrestling Community, stlwrestling.lifejournal.com, as Jimmy Karryt misses the drop kick in the corner and lands on the back of his head. And he's hurt.
Good.
Karryt is hurt.
Wait a minute, kick to the gut. Remember, these are kicks to the gut, a little higher than the groin.
Well, and Harker Dirge appears to be setting up for something here.
Looking for that wheelbarrow into the top rope again. Top turnbuckle. Jimmy Karryt caught himself.
God thought he was going for a
body.
Boston Crab.
2 count.
Close. God thought Harker Dirge was going for a Boston Crab or maybe a sharpshooter or maybe the figure 4, but he went for the monkey flip. And what's Karryt gonna do here? Oh no!
He slipped.
These ropes are loose.
1, 2.
2 count. These ropes are not all that tight, so he could not get his footing and do that moonsault off the ropes. That's why he lost his footing on the ropes. They're not all that tight. See how much that top rope can be shifted with some pressure.
Another one, and again, hitting him with many right hands as Harker Dirge sends him into the opposite side, and sunset flip looking for that cover. And Harker Dirge kneels into it. 3, he caught him.
Harker Dirge hooked those legs, just sat, leaned forward, got the knees down over the shoulders. No way, nowhere for Jimmy Karryt to go to kick out of that. And Harker Dirge is victorious. Well, we are out of time for this edition of PWCI. This week, I'm the Mad Conservative Crime Fighter. He is the analyst, Rob Leach. We will see you next week. He will be back here next week as we head to Program Pro. To lead off the new year of 2017, the final edition of PWCI for 2016, and hopefully in the next couple of weeks we will have our year in review edition. But until then, Happy New Year, everyone!